In earlier lectures, in earlier videos, we had studied about the input devices, the output devices, the different types of software. Then we know we need some mechanism to provide data to these input devices. Then how the system know from where it has to fetch the data, from where it has to store the data, which process it has to execute, to where it has to send the data, who is asking for which resource. So these all functions are done by the operating system. Operating system manages your resources, your memory, your system softwares, your application softwares. Okay. So the operating system is an integrated set of programs. Integrated set of programs means it is a combination of programs which are interrelated to each other, that controls the resources like your CPU, memory, input output devices of a computer system. So operating system is responsible for the management of all the resources available inside your machine. It itself is a system software. So being a software, it also supports other system softwares and application softwares, and along with that it manages all your input devices, your memory, and other resources. It provides its user with an interface that is more convenient to use. We have different types of operating systems available, and depending upon the properties of the operating system, the operating system provides the facility to the user to communicate to it system. So it acts as a medium between the user, the system software, the application software, and the hardware resources. So depending upon the type of operating system, suppose if you are using DOS operating system, if you want to communicate to your system, you have to you should know about the commands that are used to interact with the system. But if you are working with the Windows operating system, then with the help of GUI, and means the graphical user interface, you can interact with your system with the help of icons. So the two primary objectives of an operating system are making a computer system convenient to use, means it provides the facility to the user, that without having proper knowledge of the background processes, of the background programs, the user is able to communicate, to use the system comfortably. Secondly, managing the resources of a computer system means we have different types of resources that are connected to your system, like your CPU, your keyboard, your mouse, your screen, uh, your printer. So how to manage these resources, which resource want what type of data, the user want to connect to which resource, and many other things, these all are managed by your operating system. So as I told you earlier, this is the logical architecture of a computer system. The operating system acts as an interface. It acts as a medium between the computer hardware and your system software and application software. So uh, if you want to communicate or you want to use any software, your application software, so with the help of computer hardware, you can interact with these softwares. So user can interact with your computer hardware and with the system software and application software only with the help of an operating system. Without the operating system, it is quite impossible for the user to communicate with any software or to perform any task. So the main functions of an operating system are: first is process management. A process is a program in execution. Suppose you open a folder, you want to access a file, this is a process. You want to write something in a file, this is you want to execute some program, you want to download something from the internet, you want to play songs, these all are processes, and these processes needs to be handled by the operating system, because operating system is the one who identify what resources are required by these processes, when the process will start, when it will finish. So these all functions are carried out by your operating system. Then next function is your memory management. Memory management deals with the allocation and deallocation of a memory. Since we have a limited memory, if a process want to execute, it has to be in the main memory of the system, but the size of the main memory is limited. So it's the operating system who managed with how much memory should be allocated to which process, and if the process has finished its task, then it also deallocates the memory. So the memory allocation and deallocation is done by your operating system. Then comes your file management. File management deals with the opening file, closing file, providing access to the file, writing data to the file, and all the file related operations are dealt by your operating system. Then comes your security. Security deals with that no unauthorized person can access your data. If we, it also deals that the resources will not get corrupted, your files will not get corrupted. So in security, you all the operating system deals with the different prospects on behalf different prospects for the security. Then comes your command interpretation. Whatever commands you are giving to your operating system, whatever you want to be performed by your operating system, you need to specify the operating system. You have to give some commands to the operating system. Those commands are to your computer system. Those commands are then interpreted by your operating system. Means whatever command, suppose you are clicking on some icon and you want to open that folder, then you are simply taking your mouse to that icon, and you are simply opening that icon, or you are opening that folder. But how the system knows that what you want to do? So behind that click of the mouse and behind the command open, there is some process, there are some coding that are interpreted by your operating system. So these are the basic functions of an operating system. Now, how we can say that our system is working properly or not? It is based upon three parameters. Number one is throughput. It is the amount of work that the system is able to do per time. Means how much the system is capable to do work is called the throughput. It is measured as the number of processes that are completed by the system per unit time. For example, if there are n processes and your system is completing n processes in t seconds, so the number of processes completed per second is calculated by n divided by t. So that is called your throughput. Means the system is capable of performing n divided by t processes per second. So next comes your turnaround time. It is the interval from the time of submission of a job to the system for processing to the time of completion of the job. Means when you submitted the job, means when you first enter the job, and the time taken by your system to completely perform that job or completely done that job is called your turnaround time. For example, if you are calculating the marks, if you are calculating the percentage of the students, the time taken by the system to calculate all the percentage of the students is called your turnaround time. Next comes your response time. It is the interval from the time of submission of a job to the system for processing to the time the first response for the job is produced by the system. Means when for example, we take the example of calculating percentage. Suppose you have entered the marks and you have applied some formula in your Excel sheet. So the time when you applied the formula and the time you get the percentage of first student being calculated, it is called the response time. So Depending on these three parameters, we want the maximum throughput. Means our throughput must be high, and the minimum turnaround time and response time. Based of these three parameters, we can calculate our system performance. So this was the brief overview of the operating system. Thanks for watching the video.